my page got hacked, Facebook page. It had like 50K that time, yeah. I woke up one day, it was gone. When my pages got hacked, I used to call my friends in the industry, and I would tell them, "Niaje mazi, I can see you are doing well in the content, your content. Just call me and feature me in your video."
That's all the support you needed at that point.
Not actually bring me in your idea, hata nikuwe kama extra, so that I can start gaining my followers back. You see? So they ignored me. So one day after 4 months hivi, so ilikuwa usiku. So I came back to the house, nikapata vitu zangu nje. I was like, jamaa amefunga na ameenda na vitu zangu no communication, nothing. Vitu zangu ziko nje. Sasa hiyo by the way sikuwaga na phone hizi nilikuwa na kabambe bana. So na try kukopa credit. Huyu jamaa kwa wapi?
Hello and welcome to today's episode of Candid with Yvonne. My name is Yvonne Kawira and my guest today is not a stranger to your screens. His name is Peter Wamwea, aka The Consummator. He has made you laugh, he has made you smile on your screens, but I'm sure you've been wondering what he's been doing with his life because for a long time now you've not seen him around, and we are here to get an update on what has been going on.
Kazi yangu ni kutake care of the compound. Like kuchoma takataka tunachomanga every once a week. Okay. So this is the light, akina makaratasi, akina vitu hizi nini. Yeah, so this is the tank. So watu wanakunyaka wanaweka hapa na kuja na choma kama saa hii. Yeah.
Umekuwa hapa for how long?
Mimi? Since 2020 April. Ndio ulikuja hapa. That's when I came here. And then actually sahi vile sasa hiyo ikiendelea kuchomeka, I was clearing the grass. What happens is hii kukinyesha, like sahi kumenyesha, so ime come up, so I will clear the grass the rest of the week. Yeah, so that's one thing. So kuchoma takataka, that's what I do. As I do my work, unaona zile viti kuna kakitambu pale. I never leave my book alone.
Oh, so
that one. So because I can get an idea when I'm here and I go and write, you know. I draft my idea, so I usually carry my book around. Usanii niko nayo juu everywhere I go. So nikichoka kidogo, tuseme nimefieka, nakaa chini na kuja hapa, I take my notebook
and do some ideas.
I do some ideas, you see. Yeah, because my ideas don't die. You keep doing them, hoping that one day you are going to implement those ideas. So that's always been my hope. Consummator ni jina ilitoka when I was in Desta. I used to do poetry.
Okay.
So there's a poem I did at this particular time during Valentine. Ilikuwa najiita My Dearest Consummator. So watu wakaipenda sana, so wakaanza kuniita Consummator.
Okay.
But again, I turned the name, and Consummator actually is an acronym. Christ organized, nurtured, serviced, ultimately made available to offer returns.
Okay, that's a mouthful.
Yes.
But it sure has a meaning.
Yes.
Tukirudi pale mwanzo, where you were born, where you were brought up.
Yeah.
Teleze.
Ushago, mimi nimekulia Ushago, Murang'a. Yeah, so huko diko nimetoka. That's where I schooled. High school, Murang'a High School. Then I went to Desta University.
What did you study at Desta?
Desta University, I studied community development. A degree.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so niko na degree.
Yeah, community development.
Yeah, yes.
Ulienda paje kwa Churchill?
Saseni! So during the holidays, there's this friend I met in town. And he wanted to go for auditions. That time auditions zilikuwa zinafanywa Adams Arcade there. So akaniambia, mazi, nataka kwenda kujaribu auditions za Churchill. Sijui kama unajua Adams. Nikamwambia, since I am not doing anything in town, wacha nimpeleke. So I took him. So there akaambiwa, akamita wase wa nini, akaambiwa, what do you have? Akaanza kufanya akaambia wewe uko down.
Unapata feedback hapo?
Yeah, aliambiwa hapana. So within that conversation, wakaanza, the show that was being recorded that coming week was a Valentine show. So those guys were looking for poets. Wakasema, mazi tunaweza pata ma poets wapi mazi, kesho wakuje wachachishe na hizi love, Nikasema excuse mimi
Teacher.
I do poetry. I'm very good in that. Able to performie kitu moja. So I had a poem in mind. Already I had crammed, I rehearsed to do in Daystar for Valentine. So I did the poem to them. Wakasema hata usimalize kuja kesho.
Wow.
So you're performing tomorrow, because the auditions on Monday. That time recording used to happen on Tuesday. So they told me tomorrow you're performing. So that's how I ended in Churchill. So nikaenda perform. It was very nice. Watu walisimama kwa kiti. Yeah. Then from there, so I started coming, doing poetry. That was my base before I ventured fully into comedy. When we were starting, thanks to these new guys, at least tuliwatengenezea platform. When we were starting, that time we were not many. There was a clique ya kina Eric Omondi. There is a time Eric Omondi used to be alone in Churchill. Then kukaanza kukuja wase kadhaa. So we were like the second bunch of guys. So there was not much. Actually, those days, we were ourselves, we were not even looking for anything. Like ati kunalipwa, no. Our mind was that platform. Yeah, that huge platform, and we were contented with that. We had no question like whether we are getting paid and all that. We used to perform, and we were contented on that. So the platform itself was satisfaction, was offered us satisfaction. So yeah, but then again, and I understand, because the show was just beginning. It was also taking its nini. So but at least we used to get fare and all that. But then the platform was all we needed at that particular, and we were not complaining. Yeah, then as time went by, things started coming well with Churchill show. At least watu walianza kulipwa. So sahi I think wanalipwa vizuri sana. Yeah, so that's that. But for me, I always say what took me to Churchill is not money. Is the platform. In fact, if you ask those guys who joined Churchill the first time, unajua sahi kuna watu wanakuja audition, kitu ya kwanza wanakuuliza ni mnalipwa pesa ngapi? So you have to tell them you have to sit down with them, uambie we, if you are looking for money, my friend, you're in the wrong place. Yeah, because we know the journey. So at least things have opened up in Churchill. I think guys are getting paid, and but for me, as I told you, platform was what I was looking for, and I got it, because through that platform you could be able to do a lot of things. You could get events, and the events you get, the money you get from the events, you can't even come there asking like tunalipwa Churchill, because it's enough. That platform ya Churchill imekupatia event, you see. So for me, those guys who started in Churchill, hutaisikia mtu akiongelea vibaya Churchill, because we know what we wanted at the beginning. So that was enough. So it gave us that platform, tukaanza kujulikana. Watu wakatuita to events, wedding, kuna wedding hapa pale. We started doing end of year parties, you know. Yeah, and we were getting something. We were getting something to pay our bills. Yes.
Na ulikuwa kwa Churchill kwa muda wa miaka ngapi?
I joined Churchill from 2008 proper.
Okay.
Yeah. But then, you know, Churchill inaendelea, then it used to take a break.
Yes.
Then you come back, then, you know, and on and off and on and off. So from me, I can say 2008. So it's like, I can say I have been like 12 years, 10 years in the 10 to 12 years in the industry. Yes.
What would you say is the highlight of your period kukua kwa Churchill?
Yeah.
The most important thing unaweza kumbuka, yani hii ilikuwa ndo the day you felt enyewe it's worth it, niliingia kwa comedy, niliingia kwa Churchill show?
Yeah. I was paid a lot of money by someone.
By someone? What did you do to that person?
Yeah. Someone just called me and said, I want to give you an event. Nikamwambia unalipa pesa ngapi? Akaniambia nakulipa 300k.
One off?
Yeah, and it was 10 minutes.
For 10 minutes you made 300k?
Okay. So in fact I was trying to bargain. Jaipatiwa pesa. That time was kitambo by the way. I was trying to bargain like, hey, 300k unaweza reduce. You know, I wanted to say unaweza, I was like
minutes.
300 what, you know, like, I get it. But wewe unanichekeshanga, hapana usiseme kitu that's that. That was a true fun. Yeah. So okay, what I want to say is seeing you making a change in someone's life through what you're doing, they can be able to do anything, you know. And that was my happiness. not watch hata pesa ama nini. If you change someone's life, sometimes we even perform without getting paid. You can, unaweza itu hata kwa shule za hizi za like children's home, you can go and perform even in high school. When you perform and you encourage those kids and you tell them about their future, and you see them, you know, getting encouraged and getting determined, that is basically what brings fulfillment in me. Yes.
Na ilifika wapi ukateka break from Churchill? What happened?
It was unexpected. It was it's 2019. I did my last performance in Churchill like around June there.
Okay.
2019. That's the same time that my dad became sick. Yeah. And it became like it was a kind of an emergency. I remember. Yeah. So dad came and said, "Oh, na walienda place wakapimwa, you know," and then he was diagnosed with prostate. Right? So hiyo ikatupata unajua some of these diseases you see them like zinapataga watu fulani.
Yeah.
Like it's not your family, it's other people,
others,
you know.
yeah.
So that came like this like so now it's like, where do we go from here? You see? So my dad had to go for surgery. Na sasa hiyo ni kukusanya pesa. Now I am the kind of mtu yule anaangaliwa. Mimi niko kwa limelight. So I had to do a lot to the savings I had accumulated within some time from events and all that. I had to bring it there so surgery could happen and all that. Alafu unajua cancer is a process. It's not a one day thing. So lazima so from there anaendaga clinic from 2019 actually ianzia 2018 mwisho hapo. Surgery ikakuja imeaccumulate, so he goes to clinic up to today. Kuna time alikuwa anaenda once a month because for him it was his cancer had not gotten to a stage ile tunaweza sema ni mbaya. In fact ilikuwa tu like hapo kwa stage 1 inakaribia hapo stage 1, so wakaona wafanye surgery immediately and then wamuingize kwa chemo like those clinics, you see. So that was hiyo ndio ilikuwa bahati yetu. Yeah, so that came on me so badly, and then kuna ikafika time I didn't have any money with me even to survive myself. Like ikafika pale nikaona mazee nimetoa do zote zimeenda kila kitu, so ikafika time siwezi manage kulipa rent.
Ulikuwa unakaa wapi yote?
Nilikuwa nakaa Waithaka.
Okay.
So I couldn't pay rent, so I had to move and I had to sell my things. Yeah, I sold my bed, I sold what I had, and I moved in with a friend, Zimmerman. Okay. I went to Zimmerman. That is 2019. Ikienda sasa kuishaisha. So I went to stay with a friend in Zimmerman. Tuka agree with him like tutakuwa tunasaidiana rent kile tutapata. So like akilipa hii mwezi nalipa the next month. So that was the agreement. But then within time money was not coming. Wow. Yes, we were expecting. So the first month when I was supposed to pay, nikamwambia nipatie hii next, akinitalipa double. You know the way you say. Yeah. Unapata unajua kuna kitu itatokea tu. But then ikaenda accumulate hivyo. Corona ndio hii.
Ika shut down kila kitu.
Yeah, so when Corona came in and I had not paid like rent for 4 months continuously, yeah. Na huyu jamaa alikuwa within the second month alikuwa ameanza kunipatia signals. Mimi you know ile una mtu anakufukuza lakini akwambia enda. So one day after 4 months hivi, so ilikuwa usiku. So I came back to the house, nikapata vitu zangu nje. I was like, jamaa amefunga na ameenda na vitu zangu no communication, nothing. Vitu zangu ziko nje. Sasa hiyo by the way sikuaga na phone hizi za nilikuwa na kabambe bana. So na try kukopa credit. Huyu jamaa ako wapi? Alafu wase hiyo it was by the way unajua haikuwa pesa mingi kulipa, ilikuwa 3k lakini ilikuwa inatushinda. But then that plot watu walikuwa wananijua. So seeing me confused there with my things, kuna ile you find some underwear iko hapo nini. It was so embarrassing. Very embarrassing. It was a low moment for me, you know. But I had to take it. Because what could I do, you know. So hiyo night tulilala hapo nje na watchman hapo. So trying to call people like who I know. Niaje mazee mimi niko nje. nimekwama. So within those calls I called a lady, akaniambia niaje, okay, fanya hivi. Now she's a friend, yeah? We used to be together in Daystar and the same church.
Okay.
So akaniambia niaje, mimi niko na place lakini sasa sijui kama itakufaa. Sasa yeye alikuwa anaona consumator wa TV na anaona garage. You know, that was the whole thing, yeah? Anaona garage. Anaona huyu jamaa nitamleta garage aje. So akaniambia place sijui itakufaa. Nikamwambia no. That time sikuwa nasema I could, hata uniambie kuja, especially as long as I'm in a compound, hata kama ni box nitalalia, I was ready for that.
Yeah.
So nikamwambia don't worry, give me a place, a shelter. I just want to have a place as I recorrect myself. You see? So the next day I moved. That's how I ended up here in this garage where we are.
Wow.
Yeah.
Umekuwa hapa kwa muda gani?
From like April 2020. That's when nakumbuka tukimove hiyo time ndio corona ilikuwa, sijui kumewekwa nini, watu sijui don't travel sijui what, lakini Ngong area nilikuwa naogopa juu Ngong area sijui ilikuwa nini, lakini Ngong area you could move, yeah. So that's when I came here 2019 as the caretaker. I came here, akaniambia wewe fanya hivi, niangalilie hiyo place, yeah, just, and I was okay. You know, so I came here and I was very happy by that, just first of all to get a place.
Okay.
And to have someone who can give me a place too, as I may understand shida zangu, what I'm going through. And I took it with stride. Na nikakuja, nikaanza kufanya kazi huku, nikafieka. The place was deserted, ilikuwa na nini kabisa, nikafieka, I did everything. Yeah, and that's that. But then, within sometimes, you know, unaonanga shida moja, unaona nilikuwa nataka tu pahali pa kulala. Then within some time nikaanza kuona, what about the stomach? Yeah. Nitakuwa nakula nini mazi? And you know, when I moved here as a caretaker, si ati nilikuwa nalipwa. Like, this is a place to just sleep, you know? Yeah. Nilikuwa naona watu wengi wakiuliza, si caretaker ni job unalipwa? No. I was just there to, that's a shelter, yeah? And I didn't complain, I took it so well, yeah? So I had to do things to make to survive.
What are some of the things?
The things I did, shamba, nikaanza kwenda kulima shamba na watu, vibarua. Yeah, so we did vibarua na wase wengine wanakunywa tunusu sana huku. Yeah. But I joined with them and tunapiga story. I was okay, tunapiga story, you know. Vizuri sana. And I never complained. I knew it was a stage I'm passing through, and I did everything I did. Hata kama ni kulima, I did good work. You know, kuna mtu hiyo shamba ilikuwa nilionyesha hapo chini, I told you about it. Alikuwa ananipatia kibarua naenda nalima, and I did it so well, you see. But then again, pia hiyo kibarua sometimes haikuwa, it was not consistent, yeah. Sometimes kulima kwa shamba inaisha, it's seasonal saa ile nini. So kuna time I had a tough days when I couldn't get anything, kitu ya kukula juu nimekaa na njaa hivi. So but then my neighbors were so understanding. Kuna time walikuwa wananikuta nimekalia huto tu viti hapo nje, wananiuliza mazi ni aje unakaa. So kuna time nilikuwa nimekonda, wacha saa hii sasa inalishwa na neighbor. Kuna time nilikuwa nimekonda, like hata wananihurumia, mazi kuna kitu una pass through, what's disturbing you, yeah. So for me, I was not that kind of a person who liked to open up. Yeah. In fact, this story has taken me a lot of courage to come out. So I was not that person. Nilinyamazia shida zangu nini, but then tukashare, because these guys, when I came here, hata walikuwa na shida, ni consumator man. Ni sisi tunafikiria vizazi zetu. Juu walikuwa wananiambia, walikuwa wananichungulia kwa dirisha, sasa nikifieka na huku. Ni Then hata kuna siku moja akuja, by the way nikuulize, ni consumator? I was like, yeah, I'm the one. I didn't hide, I didn't want to hide an identity. So I took myself the way I was, and then nikaingia, and I appreciated that, because I knew it was a process. So they embraced me. The neighbor told me, fanya hivi, I have a lot of food, you can come, let's be cooking together with you. And that's one neighbor ule unatukiwa naye hapo nje, is very supportive of me. Hata hii hii simu ni alininunulia as a gift. Yeah, aliona vile nasumbuka na simu. Yeah, so they are supportive, yeah. Like we do, as I told you, we go, naosha vyombo zangu vizuri, naosha nyumba, namuoshea vyombo na nyumba and all that. And then we cook together and we are happy. You know, we take it. They are my brothers now. These are my brothers, my family. I stay here. Nani watu tulimeet tu hapa.
Okay.
You see? Yeah, so that is that. Yeah.
Health ya babako ikoaje saizi, and how is the family taking the whole of this situation?
It's it's not as hard as it used to be at the beginning. Because as I told you, kuna time alikuwa naenda clinic every month. So hiyo ilikuwa ina to stress sana. Juu tunajua tukimaliza hii month kuna next month. Then to NHIF at least ilikuwa inasaidia pale, but NHIF siku hizi ilipia kila kitu. You have to add like 20k about vitu zingine huko juu. But now it's a bit easier for us because anaenda once every 3 months.
Okay.
But sasa kuna pia story ya kuna complexion nyingine kwa nayo ya miguu, like nerves, anaumwa na miguu sana. So hiyo ndio sasa hata inatusumbua kidogo, but ako poa. He comes when he is coming to the clinic, ananipigianga simu na niambia to meet Nairobi, nampeleka Texas. Anakuja, tunakula pamoja, alafu he goes and he's happy. He's a very strong man. Yeah, he encourages me to keep moving. Yes, hiyo journey yote, let me tell you something I did. Within that journey I lost a lot of friends, you know. I lost people within the industry and also church. You know, me, I'm a church person. So and I'm not saying the church iliniachilia, no. In fact, church helped me. Like church, where I go, like Reverend Tracy Wairimu alinisaidia sana when my dad alipojua my dad was sick, ali come through sana, and I really want to appreciate her, and God bless her so much. Yeah, but nasema sasa the clique of friends that you are with in church, those are the people I'm talking about. Like you are friends in church, but then they don't call you, they ignore you, they don't know where you went, and when you're in church side ulikuwa consummate vibrant, wako na wewe hapo. So I lost those friends. They never used to call me again and all that. In the industry also, something also happened within that. Unajua vitu zinakujanga. My page got hacked, Facebook page. It had like 50k that time. Yeah, I woke up one day, it was gone. So, and you know, when I'm here, I told you about the book.
Yes.
You saw that book?
Yes, I remember.
These books you see, you see the book. I usually have a book every time where I go. Hata nikienda tao siachagi kitabu because ideas, I'm a creative guy. Like I like writing. Kitu inaweza nikujia. And you know, we comedians, we observe so much. You can observe something, unaiandika, unajua you can develop it later. Yeah. So hiyo kitabu niko nayo hapo. So when I'm doing all this, I still write my things because I know this is just a period I'm coming out, you know. And I have a lot of ideas. So I lost friends and all that. So within that time, nikiwa hapa bado nilikuwa nataka bado nikifanya hizi kazi nikipata naona ni aje si nijinue bado. So when my pages got hacked, I used to call my friends in the industry, and I would tell them, ni aje mazi, I can see you are doing well in the content. Yes, your content. Just call me and feature me in your video.
That's all the support you needed at that point.
Actually, bring me in your idea. Hata nikuwe kama extra, so that I can start gaining my followers back. You see? So they ignored me. Then my page, when it got hacked, I called them like, Niaje, can you share in your pages, like follow this guy? His page was hacked and all that. People ignored me, but it's okay. I understand it's the industry, but that's life.
Not nice.
That's life. Life happens, you know. Because in this industry, what I have learned is when you're up there, that's when everyone wants to
be associated with you.
That's when your birthday, ukiwa pale juu, your birthday, everyone shares your birthday. Today is a consummator's birthday because you are there. But hapa chini, no one wants. It's like they feel like when they are with you, they will lose their followers. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, but it's a lesson I have learned myself, and it's a lesson I don't want to do in the future. Because some of the guys I have nurtured there in Churchill. Because let me tell you something about Churchill. When you come for auditions, especially new guys, they are so confused. They think they'll come today and perform, you know? So they have not been mentored out there. Wanajua gadini kukuja. But you come the first day, unaona zile sura unaonanga kwa TV, the brothers are there. So unashindwa kai kwani hawa wanakujaga mpaka auditions. So that's a culture shock for you. Unaona sasa where am I coming? Sasa kama hawako mimi nitachukuliwa. So and then one, you know, like unakuwa na hiyo uoga. But for me, I used to mentor a lot of guys there, like just to show them na wasikiza na wa mentor, this how it goes. Ukifukuzwa leo usiende, just try, keep trying. There's some people who have come for like 1 year trying, you know, they never gave up and stuff like that. Yeah, I used to listen a lot of comedians. Unajua kuna kitu nasemanga tunasikizana kama wasanii mistari, unasikizana mnaudana, so there are those clique of friends that tulikuanga nao, but pia walienda. But it's the industry, it's live, it happens. And it's a lesson that I have learned for myself. Like it's something that I don't want to do to anyone. Yeah. So this period of where I've been down, I have learned a lot of things that maybe can help me to implement in the future.
Yeah, when you rise up.
When I rise up again.
Yeah.
Yes.
How is this whole situation affecting you mentally? Unakuaje?
There was a time I was very sick. You know, ushaikuwa mgonjwa na ujui
nini inakufunga.
You just feel sick, weak and all that. There's a time, ilifikanga time mtu akipiga simu na iangalia. Alright? And there was a day I knew it's the time I went to hospital is when there's a time my dad called. My own dad. Maze nikashindwa kushika simu. And it's my dad na sijaifanya hivyo. Na si ati ni kikitu tu, nisikia kikitu kimeni something sitaki kuona.
Utakita kuongea na mtu.
A lot of friends wangenipigia simu, the next day wananikorofisha. Maze wewe huchukuangi simu. What's wrong with you? Nilikuwa nakuitia kitu. Ni nini? Like maze, but they can't understand. So nilikuwa na shida communication kwa simu. Watu wangenipigia simu na iangalia hapo unapata na and all that. So one day I went to the hospital, juu nilikuwa na feel weak. Nikapewa madawa, napatiwa antibiotics, you know. Sijui ni baridi imekuingia kwa mwili, sijui nini. It was like a 2 months period, yeah. Nilienda with that. So one day I went to a doctor who knew me. Kuongea ni akaniambia by the consume that, akaanza kunigoje. So when I started speaking to him, akaniambia you are depressed.
Wow.
You're going through depression. Yeah, those are signs of depression.
Did you get help?
Yeah. No, I had to help myself. I'm a strong person, so I have seen what some of my friends have gone through. I told you I had a friend called Jega Mswahili who died, yeah. And I knew what he went through, the depression and all that. And then for me, I stood with him and I used to encourage him and all that. So, okay, I'm not saying I'm so strong, but I had to be strong for myself. And one thing that kept me strong is that book. What is that book? I want to accomplish those things. The dreams I have written there, I knew and I still know that I want to accomplish them. So why am I giving up?
Yeah.
When I know there's a future around for me, ahead of me. Yeah. So that's what's keeping me. I've never taken alcohol. I'm not a drug person. I've never taken alcohol in my life. So kama ningekuwa depressed juu ningekuwa aje, kama nilikuwa mtu wa pombe. I've never smoked. So I think that thing, I don't know. I'm not special, but kuna time nilikuwa naenda kwa kanisa for that solace, you know.
Yeah.
But sasa in that time of depression, sasa hiyo nilikuwa na feel hivyo, nishindwa kwenda hata kanisa. Ningeoga, nataka kutoka niende kanisa, nafika kwa gate, narudi.
Nini nakurudisha?
I don't feel hapana. Sometimes I could go to church, let me tell you. Nakaa pale naangalia tu pastor akipreach. But I can't hear what he say. Yeah? Naona kwa imeimba watu wamebabika. Mimi niko tu nashindwa. What are these guys doing? So I felt like I'm not feeling anything. So I had to give myself a break from church. That's what made me not go to church, because I was feeling nothing. There's a time, there's a story I gave, a time, you know me, I perform in church. I used to perform, and I love my church, Fem. I do performances, yeah, and people love me there. They used to love me, yeah. And there's a day I performed there. I had not taken breakfast. That time I was in Zimbabwe that time.
Oh, you were living in...
I performed. I had not taken anything. Watu wamecheka, wameingia kwa viti. You know, they laughed. I remember that day even Rachel Ruto was in church.
Wow.
Mecheka yake yote hizo. Yeah, she usually comes to our church sometimes, yeah. Wamecheka, nimechekesha watu. Hey, standing ovation. After that, I had to walk from Karen to Roysambu. I didn't have fare. Na sijakula breakfast. I didn't tell anyone because number one, I told you this was the consummator who don't want to open up. Alafu ni yule consummator akona ile ego, like I'm in the limelight, watu watanionaje. Then I stood, nikakaa hivi nikajiuliza, why am I going to church? Okay, what am I, nini naendea church? Because people go to church for peace, people go to church for nourishment of the word and all that. And I'm not blaming the church, it's me. It's what I was going through. The church was okay. Yeah. It's what myself I was going through. I never knew there was kind of stress accumulating within myself, eating me up.
And it's gradually.
And this strong person of consummator he doesn't want to say, to believe there's something eating him. You know, I'm thinking I'm strong. There's no one who is strong. So those things that happened to me, so depression came to me in ways I couldn't understand. There's sometimes I could sleep, I don't want to wake up and all that. So when I went to the doctor and I told him all those stuff, he told me you are depressed. So I had to make myself strong. Yeah. So I'm managing it right now. I'm happy, at least. Yeah. So I came to appreciate where I am. The way of feeling is appreciating where you are first. And number two, knowing that you're coming out. It's just a short, that's what made me now start healing. Like I had to appreciate. Yes, I had to love what I'm doing. I love washing. Kufieka huku na nikifagia huku asubuhi, nikichoma takataka. I do it with gratitude, you know, because I have appreciated the situation the way it is, knowing that one day I'll come out. I don't know when, but I know one day I'll come out. So that's the healing process for me. Yes.
What's the one thing that you would say ukipata sahizi, it would transform your life to where you want to be?
You know, I told you I have a lot of ideas, yeah? I've tried a lot of things. You can't imagine. Like there's a time I did a crazy thing in town. It was during Valentine. We did 5,000 envelopes, white envelopes. So each envelope had a joke, a short joke. So we gathered ourselves, some friends of mine and some comedians, and we went around town stopping guys randomly in town. Like tukikutana watu wawili, they don't know each other. That was during the time for the 2013 elections. Remember, it was being done in March that time, 2013.
Yeah.
So there was all that thing of tension about the elections. So we were trying to bring peace through laughter. Then like laughter is medicine. It brings people together. It doesn't matter where you come from. Yeah. So if you read a joke, so you'd stop guys, strangers, then we would ask one to open the envelope, and one would read the joke to the other, and you could see them smile. Yeah, so we were calling it I love you.
I love you.
Yeah, okay. You see, so that is that. Then it accumulated in something that we called like a Love at Your Own Peace campaign around the nation and around the archives. So we drew a map of Kenya. That was our stage. So that time comedians, that time I was okay, yeah. So comedians came and supported me. They used to, that was the stage. They used to perform. You crack a joke, and then you give a message of peace, and it was so full, you know. So I've been trying to. So those are some of the projects I did in the past, just to try to nini. Then for now, what I can say is I have been. I'm so creative. I'm a creative person. And one of the things I know I can do so well is advertising. like writing, I write good concept. Niko na concept mingi sana za nini. Nasomeanga watu wengine wanasema why don't hii kitu nani wakiona kampuni fulani wakiona mazi sijui.
They'll run with it.
Yeah, they run with it. And I started developing that thing when I was in this. I could see an advert on TV and I was like, hii hapana. You know, alafu then I could watch Super Sport and see those, and they used to attract me so much. Yeah, so I do very good concepts. Nimejaribu mingi sasa za kampuni, ni vile sasa I don't have a platform, you know. And then this situation came in. So that's one thing that I want to if there's anyone out there who would want to my services, you know, that, you know, they can reach out to me. I know I can do so well in that. So again, right now, you know, within this period, I have been trying to shoot with Simu.
Okay.
The phone, yeah, like, because I told myself a step at a time, yeah. I start where I am. So sometimes we meet with friends, I call them, they will come, we start shooting some small clips with phones, you know, just to see how it goes, just to set for the foundation. But then there's an idea, and let me tell you one thing. This me coming out has now the idea I've always been thinking has materialized. I've been wanting to do an online show.
Okay.
You know, just speaking. You know, like when I spoke, I was very afraid to speak because I was afraid like I'll be embarrassed. You know, the way people, you know, the internet and all that.
Yeah.
People come and say, oh, this guy anataka sympathy and all that. But by the way, I don't want sympathy. I want someone who can invest in my dreams and what I think I can be able to do, you know. So I was afraid, like, people will take this story in another way. So I didn't want to come out, you see. But then, within time, I became strong and I spoke. I said I will speak what I have. Whatever happens, let it happen. And you know what happened when I spoke? I have peace. And after speaking, I saw other people speaking within my story, like in the comments. So what does that tell? A story begets another story, you know? And this is something that I have realized, and this is something I want to do. This is a conversation I want to continue with from now, because those embarrassing things that we feel that we don't want to speak about, when we speak them, there's a solution. There's nothing that doesn't have a solution.
Yes.
You know, sometimes we think that there are those things, like there are some things labeled immoral, they can't be spoken out, they are spoken, embarrassing, and you know, and these things, me, I'm in the limelight, all right? But I have spoken to people, tumelimana wao vibarua. We are speaking the same language. It's only that I'm in the limelight, they are not, but it's the same story, all right? So these stories, these issues affect everyone. It doesn't matter where they are. It can be one story, one issue, but different people in different levels of the society. You see? So if I speak it out, someone else will speak it out. So this is a conversation I want to continue with, to encourage people to come and speak in those things that people shy from talking about. Then we pick people's opinion on what should be the truth to those issues.
Yes.
So that's a show I want to, that's my online show I want to do. In fact, I want to do as fast as possible, because now I have spoken, I know I can reach out to a lot of people on the streets where they are. If I go and I get views from a celebrity or someone from then I go to the streets where the other people are, and then we speak.
Okay.
And we continue the conversation. Yes.
What message do you have for Kenyans who, you know, you entertained, you made happy, and now they're seeing you in this situation that you're in right now?
As I said, I'm not looking for sympathy. Yeah, I'm not the kind of a person who wants sympathy. I want to, if there's someone watching me today and they love my work, just support my dream. Like what I want to do, like the show I have said of the online show, that's the foundation I want to have. All right, because I know with this foundation, I can be able to do other things that I have. You see, so I start with one step.
Yes.
So if they can invest in that dream, you know, like for me, like right now, sometimes I don't have fare to go and shoot. I can't, you know. I have an issue with production, you know, all that stuff. So if someone can help me in this journey, to kickstart this journey, capitalize in this journey. That's what I'm looking for. Those are the people I'm looking for. So it might not be form of money. They can say, Niaje, we saw your story, we are calling you for you to endorse our product. Through that endorsing of the product, I get something and I kickstart my journey. Or can you conceptualize, because I told you I'm so good in creating ideas for adverts. Can you conceptualize something for us? I do it. And that's the journey. Then I start my journey. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking for. Yes.
For a Kenyan out there who wants to get in touch with you, for those concept notes and all of that, how can they reach you?
Let me give them my handles. Instagram, Facebook, Consummator Comedian. They will get me there.
Okay.
Right? Consummator Comedian. I can also give my number.
Sure.
0729 745874. 0729 745874. They can get me through that.
Okay.
Through those platforms.
Sawa.
Yes.
And throughout the journey,
Yes.
umesema there's a lady who stood out. I mean, stood out with helping you through your situation.
Yes.
Is there someone in the limelight who also came through for you?
They disappointed me.
All of them. Na mlikuwa nao kwa industry too. Wow.
You know, let me tell you, there's nothing painful when someone gives you an excuse. I hate excuses.
And you know for sure it's an excuse.
Better tell me no, it can't work. I will respect that. Rather than telling me, come, unafika town, alafu you change your mind, useme, nimeitwa Kakamega, you see. So he's trying to ignore you. So for me, my friends are not in the industry. And let me say this, I have no issue with anyone in the industry. I respect everyone, every comedian, every musician. And I'm not just saying in the comedy industry, every musician, every artist, I respect them, and I understand. So I can't point fingers to anyone, like in particular, and say this is a bad person. So I respect what they are doing. I know it's their choices, So everyone chooses their journey, and we can't blame what they are doing. It's their journey. You can't say, ni kama vile unaweza niambia nikuje unihost kwako. Kama amesema hapana, you can't complain. So I'm okay with that. I know God will use me as I am to make a step. Yes.
Na sasa tukiconclude, kuna Wakenya wanataka kujua kuna mtu iko mtu
kiatika naweza pata mtu
atakosaje?
My friend, let me tell you, this issue is, you know, this story has helped me a lot, because I will now get the real people.
Those who know the real situation you're in right now.
Now those who are watching me now, this is the real me.
Nini ndio mko?
Mimi ndio niko. Kiateka mtu wa shamba ndio mimi. Kama unawezana na hii. But see yule consummator, because at some point, you know, we have all those we have challenges. Someone want to date that person in the line, they don't know what they are going through. So for me, the person I'm looking for is someone who knows the real me, not consummator Peter Wamwea, what is going through, who can rise up with me and all that. But at this particular point, I'm taking a step at a time. You see, for me, I want first of all to build my foundation again, and then who knows. Who knows?
Great. Tunashukuru sana for even welcoming us to your space.
Yes.
And sharing with us your journey.
My humble background.
Your humble background.
My humble garage.
And you're smiling through it all. Nashanga tu where you're getting all this strength to, you know.
I have accepted the situation.
That's impressive. And tunajua this is just a phase that is passing. And very soon you'll be back in the limelight. And utaendelea kuinspire watu kule nje. So tunashukuru sana, and we thank you for, you know, your time.
So I want to tell guys, look out for my coming show. I know I will do it in God's helping. Truth Be Told, that is the name of the show. TBT, Truth Be Told.
Great.
Yes.
So thank you for staying with us till the end of the show. This has been the story of Peter Wamwea, aka Consummator. Guys, support him. He has been an inspiration to many of you. He has supported some of you. Please support his hustle right now. Please rise him up. Help him get back to his feet. And who knows, this is a journey that's going to be inspirational in the coming days. Thank you so much for staying with us till the end of the show. My name is Yvonne Kawira, and until next time, bye-bye.
Wacha nikaoshe vyombo.
Twende.